Hello and welcome to Lockdown Mathematics. Today we're going to be dealing with calculus. Okay, the first thing in calculus that a student should know is that the derivative or the term derivative means slope. And slope is always the change in y over the change in x. So y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Okay, so in your exams and questions, sometimes you will get differential operators, that being dy over dx, or capital D sub x, or df by dx, or y prime, etc. Okay, the golden rule when doing calculus or derivatives is that, say I have some function y equals x to the power n. To work out the derivative, which is y prime, you just take the exponent, times it by the coefficient, and then minus 1 from that exponent. So, for example, say we got a function f of x, and we're calling it y, and that is equals to x squared. To find f prime of x or y prime, you're just going to take this coefficient 2, times it to the front over here. So 2 times 1 is 2. You're left with x to the power 2 minus 1, which is 1. So you don't have to rewrite 1. It's fine as 2x. Some other techniques for solving derivatives is the first principles. So the equation for first principles to find f prime x is equals to the limit as h approaches 0 for f of x plus h minus f of x divided by h. Now, it may look difficult at first all together, but I'm going to show you an easy way of doing this by breaking it into parts, simplifying it, and then recombining it all together. Okay, so what you can do to double check if your answer is correct is to apply the golden rule that we spoke about. So here we got f of x. To work out what f prime is, you're going to get 2 times 1 is 2, x to the power 2 minus 1 is 1. And so this should be your answer here after we do first principles. Okay, so the first step you do is you look at this f of x plus h part. Alright, so wherever you see x, you're going to put a h. Okay, so that's exactly what I did. So I'll put a h here, and so x plus h times x plus h, because it's squared, returns x squared plus 2xh plus h squared, and you can double check this by foiling out both your brackets. The next step you're going to do is you're going to subtract the minus f of x, like in the equation. And you'll get, remember it's important to keep your brackets because you don't want to mess up the signs, right? So here you got this minus the original function x squared, and you're left with 2xh plus h squared. Notice that h is a common factor in both. Okay. The only time you'll keep your limit is when you have the whole equation written out. So now we need to divide by h, and therefore we'll attach the limit h as h approaches 0. Okay, so going down here, we got the limit. Remember, if you don't put the limit, you won't get a mark. So the limit as h approaches 0, notice that if I put 0 now, it'll be undefined. But because h is a common factor, I can get rid of this bottom h by cancelling the h's off. And you're left with 2x plus h. And if I substitute the limit as h approaches 0, so wherever there's h, you're going to substitute 0. You're going to get 2x plus 0, and that gives you 2x, which matches our original answer. Okay, so remember that you always you put your h becomes 0 when you're substituting, and you'll remove the limit. Okay, moving on. We're going to now talk about rules for differentiation. Right? One of the rules we already spoke about is the golden rule, which is written here in the first line. The next rule is that the derivative of any constant c, where c is any number, for example 1, is 0. And the derivative of any constant times x, just x, remember that, for f of x equals x only, will equal just the coefficient or that constant in front of x. Okay, it's also important to note that 1 over x or 1 over any exponent is x to the negative of that exponent, in this case x to the minus 1. Okay, so in the next time we meet, I'll be doing some exam time questions, and I'll attach these videos soon, later in the week. And so I pray that this everyone's safe, that this video was of help to you and will help you to enjoy maths more than you currently have. So thank you, drop a like and subscribe.